Broadcasting from the world-famous Bondi Beach, this is Bondi Radio.
Hi, this is Sheena from Wellness Radio, and today we have Christine Boucher here with us to talk about her holistic approach to health. Welcome, Christine.
Hi, Sheena, and thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
Thank you, Christine. Can you tell us a little bit about Natural Health Balance?
Yeah, sure. So Natural Health Balance is really around health promotion and disease prevention. I've worked in the healthcare industry for over 20 years. I worked as a nurse, a cardiothoracic intensive care nurse. So I noticed throughout my experience and my profession working in this realm that we were doing, a lot of very invasive procedures and looking at people's medical histories and why they were ending up in hospital with very serious chronic diseases was really about, the lifestyle that they were choosing. So it was really revolved around those things like poor nutrition, sedentary lifestyle, stress, not getting any sleep, smoking, that were contributing to the demise of their health, that led them into hospital, that led them to some serious chronic disease and some led them to some, really invasive procedures. So after sort of witnessing this for quite a lengthy period of time, as I said, over 20 years, I really thought there has to be a better approach. There has to be a better way. And that's really what inspired me to get into health coaching and really around, health education and giving people the support and the accountability to take back control of their health, to help to improve their health so that they didn't get sick and they didn't end up in hospital. So giving them the education around nutrition, around exercise, around managing their stress, around, leading and living a healthy, sustainable life, to change that whole trajectory of their health journey, so that keep them out of hospital, basically. So that's the situation I'm in, and the realm that I really feel quite useful and empowered at this end of the spectrum as opposed to the other where I once was working.
Right. Can you tell us a little bit about the chronic diseases that you've worked with?
Yeah, so particularly we focus on type 2 diabetes, heart disease and stroke. So heart disease is Australia's current leading cause of death, and type 2 diabetes is becoming a lot more prevalent. It's something around 280 Australians are developing type 2 diabetes every day. It's like one every 5 or so minutes. It's becoming quite prevalent, and a lot of these chronic diseases are associated, the risk factors associated with them and are around those things like exercise, like nutrition. All these things are contributing to a person having these diseases or not. There's other risk factors that also contribute that we don't have control over, the things like our age or our family history or our cultural background. We can't make changes with those risk factors, but there's a significant amount of risk factors that we can modify or we can change within our lifestyle, which will ultimately help to reduce our risk of these chronic diseases. So that's really powerful. It means we're in the driver's seat and we have the ability to make change.
Awesome. So what kinds of things can people do on a daily basis that can reduce their chances of getting chronic disease such as type 2 diabetes or heart disease or stroke?
Yeah. So, there is so many things that we can do, and we all generally sort of know the basics of what we could and what we should be doing to keep our bodies healthy and well. I really believe it starts with a good mindset, just believing that you are worthy of a good, healthy life, believing in yourself, believing that you're capable of whatever you put your mind to, that you can ultimately achieve. So it's really important when I work with my clients that we start first and foremost with their mindset, see where they're at, because sometimes people are telling themselves stories that aren't necessarily true. So it's about breaking those unhealthy stories that people are telling themselves and linking up a better synaptic pathway to say, yes, I am worthy of a healthy life. And then we look at things like, nutrition. So we'll keep a diary with the clients and sort of see where they're at and see what they're doing. And sometimes people might think they're eating healthy, but once you sort of look into it, they're not. And looking at a lot of people are eating too much processed foods and not enough raw foods that grow from the earth or graze from the earth. So it's really about identifying, because everyone's a bit different, where their problems are, and then making a more of a healthy plan moving forward with their nutrition. And then we look at exercise, what things people can be doing according to what's going on in their life. Some people have time constraints, some people have physical restrictions. So it's really sort of tailored and catered for the individual so that we're getting the most out of that individual.
Kristen, you also talk a lot about the importance of sleep, and you've taught me a few things on sleep. Can you touch a little bit about how important sleep is and maybe how much sleep per night we should be getting? And is it different for us as we grow older, or does it stay the same, 8 hours a night?
Yeah. So, sleep is so important, and it is so often overlooked, because when we go to sleep at night, we get into a really good relaxation response, it's the contrast to the stress response, right? So our bodies have the ability to heal at night, have the ability to regenerate and rejuvenate and cell repair and growth. All our other biological systems are working optimally. Our digestive system is absorbing all those healthy nutrients that we've taken in through the day. Our immune system is at its strongest, so it's fighting off and warding off any of those infections. And it's recommended that we have about 8 hours sleep a night. And I so often come across clients that are getting very minimal sleep, and they're just running on adrenaline. And when you're tired, how it affects you the next day. You can be moody and cranky, and it can affect your decision-making processes. It can affect, your productivity. So it's really important that we get a good night's sleep. About 8 hours a night is what's recommended.
What about meditation? Do you teach, or do you encourage your clients to meditate every day?
Yeah, it's something that I've probably only gotten into myself in the last 12 months or so. So meditation is putting your body into that sort of same system as sleep. It's in that real rest, relaxation phase. So even just 5 or 10 minutes of meditation can be quite powerful and quite beneficial. It just sort of takes the focus off everything else that's going on, and just gives you that sort of that clarity of thought. I go down to the lake's edge probably every morning, and I meditate right by the water's edge. I find it really grounds me for the day and sets me up and inspires me of, what I need to achieve that day. And it just brings that peace and harmony back within my internal system. And I just love it. So I do recommend it. I don't teach it. But it's just such a powerful little tool that you can use anywhere. You can be sitting at your office desk and you might be overwhelmed or stressed, and just taking a few minutes to take some deep breaths and zone into a meditative state is really powerful physiologically, because it just helps to stop those unhealthy stress hormones from being elicited and creating unhealth and unrest within your body.
So what's the Bowen therapy? Is that something that you also teach?
So Bowen therapy?
Bowen, yes, Bowen.
Yeah. So Bowen therapy, this was designed by an Australian guy about 50 years ago, Tom Bowen from Geelong. And Bowen therapy it works on the fascia, which is your connective tissue, which simply encapsulates like all your bones and muscles. It's the major sensory organ of our body, and it has a memory. So by sort of massaging the fascia, you're helping to relax the muscles underneath, and it kind of prizes apart. And then over time, over like 24 hours, it comes back into alignment through its memory. So with that, it's bringing all the muscles and bones and bringing the body back into correct anatomical alignment. So that's the theory behind it. And I do practice Bowen therapy, and I have Bowen therapy done for myself. And it's a really useful technique for stress relief, for pain management, for a lot of things.
Yeah. So would people be specifically looking for Bowen therapy, and then they find you, and then you would admit, like, how would that happen?
Yeah. So Bowen therapy is a small part of my business. I do some Bowen therapy, and people will seek me out just for that. But the larger component of my business is really around the health promotion, disease prevention. So I'm working with corporate clients, I'm working with large organisations, helping the employees to give them the education and the information and the support to make some lifestyle changes within their lives, which benefits the health of those individuals, but also ultimately benefits the well-being of the business. The business then becomes more efficient and productive and profitable when the staff are healthy and happy and, not taking sick leave and not having injuries at work. So that's where it can be quite powerful with what I do.
Yeah, so you work in the corporate space and individually with clients?
Yeah. So more so moving into the corporate space now. I started working individually, one-on-one model, but now I'm basically working with larger groups of people. That's where my business is taking me, and that's where I can reach more people at one time instead of that one-on-one model and that one-on-many model. It makes sense. I can help a lot more people at the same time.
Yes. We've always had so many great conversations. What else is there that you're passionate about there at your business? Is there anything specific that you kind of tend to, talk about there or promote?
Yeah, so it's sort of the main topics I really like to cover is the mindset work, like helping people to make sustainable, healthy changes, because sometimes change is hard, and people often, need that support as well as the education around it to be more mindful of what they're doing, because we're such creatures of habits, and we just do things routinely. We do things without thinking, and when you really sort of stop and focus and bring your awareness and mindfulness into the conscious state of mind, where you're then making decisions and choices on things. They say our unconscious brain is about 90% of our brain. It's just what we routinely do. And the 10% is about the conscious part of our brain. So helping people bring things into their conscious awareness and go, hey, this is not healthy. This is really not serving me purposefully. This is really going to add to some issues later on in life if I continue to do this, whatever it may be, unhealthy eating or just, living a sort of sedentary lifestyle or not getting enough sleep. So whatever it is that's sort of identified and recognised as an issue is then helping them to bring it into their conscious awareness state and go, okay, now we need to look at a plan on how we can make this to change. So I love that mindset work of helping people to really identify, bring it to their awareness, and then make an action plan to make some goals that take the actions to ultimately give them the results that they're looking for. Some people are looking for weight loss. Some people are looking for reducing their blood pressure and getting off medication. Some people are looking at, fixing their high cholesterol. Whatever it is for that individual, it's, figuring out where they're at right now, where they want to be, and then making that plan in between to get them there. As quickly, it does take time, but as the straightest route possible.
Yeah, I was going to say, change is really, really difficult because you are dealing with mindset and you're also dealing with time. It takes a long time to get out of your habits and make new habits. So patience.
Well, they say the average break of habit is about 21 days, depending on what that habit is. So it's really about bringing it into that conscious state to help make that change and get that support that you need. I think that's really important because it's hard to do things on your own.
Yes.
So to have the support of a healthcare professional sort of walking you through it, it just makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It does. So is that what you do? I mean, what kind of products and services do you offer, both the corporate and the one-on-one, even though I know you're moving into corporate, but what kind of products do you have?
Yeah, so I have online programs where I do group online programs. So my signature program is an 8-week online program, Revive Your Health. And it takes you through the modules of mindset, of motivation, linking in with your intrinsic motivators to getting you to take the action to achieve those desired results that you have. There's components on hydration, nutrition, exercise, stress management and sleep. So it's a real holistic approach about all realms of your health to make changes with, whilst you're getting the support of a group and also of a healthcare professional. So that's the online component, so I can reach people anywhere in the world. And then the corporate component is basically where I go into an organisation and I have a conversation and I understand and literally diagnose what's problematic in that business. Because every business I find is completely different, has a different culture, a different staff, a different setup. So there's no point going in with a cookie cut model of here is a program. I really need to go in and identify what the issues are, diagnose those issues, and then make a plan moving forward, which is going to be the medication, so to speak, as to what's going to help them move through their unhealthy culture. So like a business I'm currently working with, they're really busy, they don't have enough time, and they're not taking breaks, and they're drinking lots of sugary drinks, and it's a really unhealthy eating culture. And they're sort of rubbing off on each other. They're all doing it, and they're all running around high on sugar and high on adrenaline and high on stress, and it's really quite problematic with their health. I can see that. So it's now that I understand that, it's then going in and breaking this whole culture, not just individually, but within the whole organisation.
Oh, awesome. So how can we get in touch with you? What's your contact information?
So the best way to get in contact is probably through my website, www.naturalhealthbalance.com.au. And just shoot me a message. All my details are there. And it's just really a matter of having a conversation. I will always do a free consult just to have a conversation with someone to identify, I can help. We're a good fit. We can work together. And then we make a plan moving forward. If I feel like I can't help someone, then I'll refer them to a healthcare professional that would be more suitable. So it's really about just having a conversation, identifying a client's needs and going from there.
Great. So it's Christine Boucher from Natural Health Balance, www.naturalhealthbalance.com.au. Oh, Christine, thanks so much for sharing your wisdom today. I'm super excited, like always, to be speaking with you and for sharing your wonderful good word about holistic health and nutrition. Thank you so much for the work that you do.
No worries, Sheena. It's been great speaking with you today. I appreciate it.
Bondi Radio.